So many countries can be described with one word. As an example, when you think of Egypt, you think the pyramid. With Switzerland, the Alps. When you think of France, you think of surrender. Well, luckily, we have a fearless and totally mentally competent president who describes our country this way.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to
This guy is a freaking joke.
I don't know. What are you talking about? I thought that was a pretty good explanation. I mean, but anyways, welcome back to Crossworks Media. Overall, faith in multiple capacities is on decline in America. Civil liberties are being taken away every day, and we're seeing less and less godly and morally right ideas being spread. Faith in the American system and God are being dragged down in the guttural void that leftism has opened. Conservatives no longer believe in legal and fair elections enough that Texas isn't certifying the 2020 presidential election. A new Gallup poll shows a record low in Americans' faith in God, and we'll discuss the ramifications of that later on in the show. So, if we just hop over to that first story, we'll talk about Texas. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but in Texas, just, what was it, this past week or something? They were talking about how the Texas Republican Party officially rejected the results of the 2020 presidential election over the weekend. And they basically blamed the election fraud in 5 battleground states for Joe Biden's presidential victory over former President Donald Trump. The resolution refers to Mr. Biden as acting president. They said, we reject the certified results of the 2020 presidential election. We hold that acting President Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. was not legitimately elected by the people of the United States, the resolution reads. It claims that the elections in 5 states violated Articles 1 and 2 of the Constitution because various secretaries of state illegally circumvented their state legislatures in conducting their elections in multiple ways, including by allowing ballots to be received after November 3rd, 2020. So, Javen, what do you think about that?
I think this is a pretty significant development in the politics of the United States because if they don't certify the election, okay, and they reject it, people don't believe in the electoral process. Nobody in the future, no elections from now on can be trusted. The election system is broken. Whether there's cheating or not, people think there is. People don't trust the system. And, what that causes is the United States to fall apart. So this is from Newsweek. It says right here, Texas could vote to secede from the U.S. in 2023 as GOP pushes referendum. So essentially, under a section titled State Sovereignty, the platform states that pursuant to Article 1, Section 1 of the Texas Constitution, the federal government has impaired our rights of local self-government. Therefore, federally mandated legislation that infringes upon the 10th Amendment rights of Texas should be ignored, opposed, refused, and nullified. Texas retains the right to secede from the United States, and Texas legislature should be called upon to pass a referendum consistent thereto. I don't understand, what's going on. Well, actually, I do understand what's going on, but how can we heal this, man? I mean, every break between these podcast episodes we do, which is a week or half a week, there's always something to do with a civil war or a separation between the country. I mean, Texas threatening to secede in 2023.
I don't know if they said threatening, but they now have the right, I guess, to secede.
Well, yeah, they're not threatening. It's like, well, we have the right to secede. And it's like, yeah, okay, they're not necessarily...
They're teasing it.
Yeah, exactly. They're just reminding that they have the right to do it. So what do I think? I think that either they're just showboating around and nothing's going to happen, or I don't know, man. It's just so crazy to think about how far we've come in the past 2-3 years. You know what I'm saying? Here's the deal. But seriously, 2-3 years ago, I was saying that somebody's going to secede as kind of a joke.
An edgy joke.
Yeah, exactly. And now it's all coming to fruition.
But I mean, could you say that from where this stems from is that people don't actually believe that elections are fair or legal anymore? with everything that happened during the 2020 election. I mean, even if you don't believe that the election was like stolen, I don't know if I 100% believe that the election was stolen, because I mean, that's a lot of votes. I mean, with all that 2,000 mules, if you guys watch that, they do that by like doing GPS tracking of a bunch of mules who did multiple drop-offs in like certain swing states and stuff like that. But I mean, is that enough? Would that actually be enough to like actually overturn the election? I don't know about that, but I don't know. But if you went and looked through, there was a lot of like states that passed certain things that really shouldn't be passed, like all that stuff in Pennsylvania, mail-in voting and stuff like that, and allowing people to actually like get their votes in after the day of election. It was a bunch of really weird stuff that like states passed to be able to get more votes in, which I mean a lot when it comes down to it, conservatives believe that you shouldn't do that. They think that you should do it how elections have always been, where you go and vote on November 3rd. Yeah, you go vote on November 3rd, and that's the day you get it. You don't get mail-in voting. Like, show up to your polls, have ID, have ID so they can know that you're actually a citizen, and vote on there. And if you miss it, then you miss it. But liberals think that that's voter suppression and that they should be able to do it. So people are losing faith in our elections, and Texas is outright saying that they believe that it was rigged, obviously. And I mean, what's going to come from that?
Well, I mean, if you look, the Supreme Court refused to take a couple different cases about it.
Yeah, from Texas. Texas tried to bring it up, I think, a couple times, and the Supreme Court just said that we're not going to hear it.
And why
pissing people off?
Yeah, and why did they refuse to hear it? I think they refused to hear it because they're scared. They're scared that if it is true and they make a ruling against it or for it or whatever, it's going to throw the country into chaos. But, a lot of people are saying, oh, just the conservatives think it's stolen. Well, let's go back to 2016, okay? They thought that Trump stole the liberal leftists thought that Trump stole the election then. So this isn't just a one-party issue.
Not only that, though, with also the Georgia governor. They thought it was who was it? Yeah, they thought Stacey Abrams is like still saying to this day that the election was stolen. Like this isn't. They like to say, oh, the conservatives. This has never happened before. Yes. But dude, they did it in 2016. For what, the first 2 years or the entire Trump presidential? What would you say? His whole term. Yeah. They were saying that it was rigged the entire time. They were bringing up false things that who was that?
Steele dossier and stuff?
No, the Steele dossier. But who was her lawyer or whatever, or her election manager, literally came out and was like, yeah, we made it up and we brought it to the FBI, and Hillary Clinton knew it was a lie.
Yeah.
They did that. They purposely did that so they could block Trump his first 2 years in office.
Well, dude, they wasted so much time and money chasing down these stupid impeachment trials for Trump. Two of them. It's ridiculous. I was thinking about that the other day. Like, what a waste of time. But did you hear about Andrew Gillum in Florida got arrested for what was it like?
Oh, was that? Oh, yeah, that was the guy who lost to DeSantis. He
got like only 30.
He got like 20 felonies or something like that.
20 felony charges on Andrew Gillum.
Before we move on, I want to quickly say that so when the Supreme Court, like when Texas brought up multiple times about like them trying to say that the election was rigged, but the Supreme Court just kept throwing it out. It's not like that's going to change people's mind. They're just going to get pissed that the Supreme Court's not going to hear it. Like, they're not going to change people's mind just from saying, no, we're not going to hear you. It's just going to honestly piss people off more.
Oh, well, it's the same thing with a lot of their Second Amendment cases they don't take. It's just irritating. They don't take anything they want that's too controversial, it seems.
Well, it wasn't everyone. I think what's his name? Clarence Thomas and I think Alito were the only two ones that actually said that they would listen to the Texas case.
But yeah, I don't know. Like that Andrew Gillum guy, it was wire fraud. And he was taking money from election campaign stuff, I think, something like that. But the guy was a dirtbag and he's a cheat, and he's thankfully he lost, and we got good old Ronnie Boy DeSantis in there. We'll see if he...
Future president.
Well, yeah, hopefully.
No, 100%.
Now, honestly, here's the deal. Would you vote for him, Ron DeSantis, or would you vote for Donald Trump, to be honest?
There was a new poll that came out that it was over half of America would like to see someone new besides Trump or Biden. And So I mean, at what point is Trump even electable? If Trump run, but the thing is I heard someone say that with all this January 6th stuff, they want, like, Trump won't go into prison because they almost need him to run, because if Trump runs, there's going to be people in the middle, even some probably people on the right who don't like Trump, that will go. Everyone on the left is going to vote against Trump, but I feel like more people in the center and even a little bit on the right would vote against Trump than they would DeSantis. Like, that's why they're actually not going to, like, try to put him in prison, because they almost need him to run, because I think they fear DeSantis, honestly. He's way more electable.
They definitely fear him for the electability part, but I think they're deathly afraid of Donald Trump, because Donald Trump's revenge.
I think they want him to run.
Who, Trump?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Of course they do. I mean,
they have so much dirt on him. What dirt do you have on DeSantis? They've been literally lying about DeSantis. He just came out. They were saying they were lying about something about, like, vaccinations, and he came up, like, on a presser and would like brought up like this, some, I think it was stats and stuff that, like, showed that the media was lying about him.
Yeah.
Like, they try to smear him, but every time he comes out, I'm like, yeah, they're lying about it. Here's the facts.
So, but Clayton, you never answered the question.
What?
Who would you vote for, Trump or DeSantis?
If it came down to a primary, I don't know. The thing is it
Make a decision.
I know, but I would like to see another Trump thing, because Trump would get in and just fire everyone because he's pissed.
Yeah,
he would fire everyone.
I'd vote for Trump, and it would be really cool if he picked DeSantis as his vice. So if DeSantis runs as a vice, that still means he can get voted for 2 terms as president, obviously.
Yeah, because Biden.
So if we could get a
Trump DeSantis.
Trump DeSantis ticket, and then after that 8 years of DeSantis to really correct the country.
Yeah, but like they were saying, it was Tim Pool I was listening to, and he was like, right now I feel like I'd rather want Trump in right now, because Trump would go in and fire just everyone because he's pissed. But like, obviously he's gonna try to drain the swamp. He doesn't have to worry about to try to be electability again, because everyone says the second term of a president is always when they really show what they really want to do, because they don't have to worry about trying to get elected again. So he would go in and fire everyone, and Tim Pool was saying that DeSantis might try to be more like trying to get people to agree on everything, and he might try to just do it the right way, he was saying.
Yeah. So now this is a little off topic, but it's popped up in my head. Did you hear about the new red flag laws? Mm-hmm. Did you hear about our stupid, retarded, rhino, sleazebag Lindsey Graham? Yeah. Hates us. Oh, that guy freaking pisses me off. How does that guy win the South Carolina primary?
Because people don't pay attention.
Okay, obviously there must be a lot of, like, in South Carolina, a lot of, like, old time conservatives who've just been voting for Lindsey Graham for 300 years, that they keep voting for this stinking retard. But the guy is such a snake in the grass. I don't understand how that guy, like, even last year or 2 years ago, whenever they did the primaries again for Lindsey Graham, like, I knew he was going to win, because we're waging a war against Lindsey Graham, and we really need to start focusing on how much of a dirtbag this guy is. But, like, he won by quite a bit last voting cycle, and I was kind of shocked. And I hope next voting cycle we can kick him out.
I like Tim Scott. Tim Scott, he never votes with, like, whenever it comes to this, he's never voting with Lindsey Graham. I feel like Tim Scott, I like him. He's pretty good. He always, like, speaks pretty loud about abortion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's nice because, like, whenever, like, they try to talk about the African Americans, how bad it is, and then he'll be like, well, as an African American myself, I'm pretty lucky to be up here, or something like that.
Yeah.
And half the time it's always just he's talking to white people and they just have to shut up. But here is the 14 Republicans that voted to advance the red flag law. If these are your representatives or your senators, vote them out. John Cornyn of Texas, Mitch McConnell of Kentucky, Roy Blunt of Missouri, Richard Burr of North Carolina, Shelley Capito of West Virginia, Bill Cassidy of Louisiana, Susan Collins of Maine, Johnny Ernst of Iowa, Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, Rob Portman of Ohio, Mitt Romney of Utah, Tom Tillis of North Carolina, Todd Young of Indiana. We need to get those dudes out.
Yeah, and
They don't represent us.
they're liars. Like, this is stupid. They're throwing away our rights to defense. Like, it's absolutely invigorating.
Well, the thing is if you know who this Cornyn guy of Texas is, dude, he's been getting people have been giving it to him. He just had like kind of like a conference with a bunch of people that showed up, like, and people were booing the crap out of him in Texas. They were throwing like lanyards and stuff with his name on it in the garbage. I listened to a little video about when he was speaking, and you could barely even hear what he was saying because the boos were so loud. And this guy named Jack Posobiec was pulling up a bunch of old tweets, and like not even that long ago, it was like 2017 and stuff, like 2018, where this guy's like this Cornyn guy's like tweeting out like if if your representatives are voting against guns and stuff, you need to get them out and stuff like that. Like, the guy is such a snake. I'm trying to find some of these tweets that he was posting.
Well, so like Lindsey Graham, he's not getting out till 2027.
Oh my word!
So that's what they do. They it's the beginning of their term, okay, that they got voted in for, and now they're gonna just ride the freaking thing out. They can do whatever stupid crap they want because they know, dude, in 5 years down the road, ain't nobody gonna remember this. That's what they think, but we're gonna freaking remember because I don't know, man. Lindsey Graham, all these rhinos, and it's the same people, okay? They're the downfall of the Republican Party, okay? I don't know. We need more populist candidates.
Well, I feel like all these people, they're all like the older style Republicans. Like, they're not the Marjorie Taylor Greenes or the Lauren Boeberts or any of those people. Like, all these older ones, like they're like the give a little, take a little Republicans, where they're
career
squishy.
Republicans.
They're
Yeah.
squishy. They'll squish a little on the stuff. They always give a little to Democrats to appease them. But I mean, when have Democrats ever given a little to the Republicans? It's never. The Republicans always give in to the Democrats a little bit.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah. Anyways, we can move on to. So obviously, people are losing faith in our system, but now let's talk about how other Americans are losing faith in other things. So a new Gallup poll came out on June 17th, where belief in God in U.S. dips to 81%, a new low. So so obviously, I mean, 81%, that seems pretty high, but that's the lowest that it's ever been since Gallup's been taking this poll, and yeah, so it's down 6 percentage points from 2017, and between 1944 and 2011, more than 90% of Americans believed in God. So I mean, 6%. I mean, what's 6% of 300 and whatever million people that we have? I don't know. I don't feel like doing the math in my head right now. How much do we have, actually? Is it like 370 million?
Well, if we say it's 300 million, 6% of that, wouldn't that be 2 million?
22 million.
22 million.
22 million. That's a lot of people.
That aren't Christian?
22 million that lost faith
that lost
faith from 2017 to now.
Well, the thing is, though, is like...
But fucking no, I'll let you go.
Were they really Christians?
It's not just Christians,
it's not even
it's
just
belief
Christian,
in God.
belief in God.
But what God?
Well, exactly. There's a lot of people I've talked to believe in God. They might even
in the existence of God.
Like my English teacher said back in high school, I love the God of the New Testament, but I hate the God of the Old Testament.
It's the same thing.
It's the same. That's my point. It's like she's not a Christian.
They
She doesn't believe in God. They worship themselves. Okay, that's kind of funny. You think it would be going up because the left loves worshiping themselves and calling themselves gods.
Well, yeah, obviously, if you do go look at the God of self, then obviously, on the left it'd be very high. But yeah, so the younger liberal Americans are the least likely to believe in God. With that group, it dropped 10 or more percentage points, comparing 22 figures to an average of the 2013 to 2017. So young leftists are the least likely. I mean, are you really surprised about that?
Oh, I mean, no, I'm not. But so like right here, it says that only, out of Congress. Okay, this is in 2021. There's 531 members of Congress, right? 468 are Christian. 33 are Jewish, 2 Buddhist, 3 Muslim, 2 Hindu, 3 Unitarian Universalist, and 1 unaffiliated, 1 other, and 18 don't know or refuse to answer. Okay, and
Who says I don't know?
I have no idea. 18, 19.
You just said I don't know.
So there are. So out of 531 people, 20 people say they're like not religious or their religion isn't exempt. But so 18 definites don't know or refuse to answer on what their religion is out of Congress. That's freaking bullcrap, okay? Because I think what it is in politics is a lot of these, like Nancy Pelosi and all these people who like believe in God, they just say it to try to get that old Democratic base. You know what I'm saying? Like the old time Democrats who are like 60, 70, 80 years old who still are, you know, quote unquote Christians. And so they say stuff like
devout Catholic.
Yeah, freaking bullcrap.
And that's why it's so awesome that Archbishop who denied her what is it called, the Eucharist.
Yeah.
And no, but if you look at when it comes to the part or the ideological, so when it comes to conservative, moderate, and liberals, so the first number I'll say is from 2013 to 2017. The second is in 2020. So when it came to conservative, it dropped from 95 to 94%, so a 1% drop. Moderate was 88% to 86%, a 2% drop. And when it comes to liberals, it went from 73% down to 62%, which is an 11% drop.
Yeah.
In liberals. I mean, liberals are just they're losing faith in God fast, and I mean, it's not surprising that they are.
And it's on purpose. They let's remember who's in control. If you ain't for God, you're against him, okay? You know, the Bible teaches us that you can't, if you love one, you must hate the other. So if they want to serve the God of themselves or Satan, they must hate God. And so what we need to do as conservatives is have more kids, because a lot of these people, a lot of these millennials, Gen Zs, they don't want to have kids. Okay, so that means they're a dying, not organism, but a group. Like their demographic is dying. And first of all,
well, like, I wouldn't say it's dying. It's just not self replicating.
Right.
You know, they have to take your kids. They have to get your kids. They have to indoctrinate other people's kids into their beliefs.
That's why we say don't let them indoctrinate your kids. Okay. So, but like we need to have more kids. I need to have more kids. I need to have like 100 more. Clayton, you need to get married and have kids. I don't think you're a zealot for this.
No.
All you single ladies out there, all 3 of you who might be listening, Clayton is single as a Pringle.
There's no women listening.
They're probably
Let's be honest. It's all dudes our age that are listening. There's no girls.
Yeah, and when we say all dudes, it's like 2 people.
Yeah, there's to our devout 2 people that are probably my parents listening. Thank you.
Like literally.
But yeah, so I mean, when you look at the drop in the belief of God, I mean, just look at our culture right now. There's the abortion stuff. I mean, people are trying to expand abortion rights. Back when Roe v. Wade first came out, the decision was about safe, legal, and rare. Now they're trying to pretty much do abortion right up to the point of birth, even sometimes after.
Yeah.
But
100%.
100%. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. And then when it comes to all this LGBTQ stuff, they don't believe that God made them in their image anymore. They think that you can just change how God made you. There was that thing on that Fox News came out with during the January 6 hearings, and you think of Fox News, you think of conservative news, but they took out this thing that it was basically like this about this family that transitioned their. How old
it was a daughter. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a daughter. I think what was it? They said said before they could even talk, they were their daughter was
yeah.
telling them that she was a boy, and they were just trying to show. They're trying to get conservatives to be like, oh, I can understand, because they're trying to be like, oh, it's so courageous, and they literally said people who are scared of what they don't understand. They're just it's starting to seep into conservative news.
I'd rather have a daughter that was alive than a son that was dead.
No. When in that story they said, I'd rather have an alive son than a dead daughter.
Yeah, because they say they're going to commit suicide if you don't freaking trans the kids.
But in that story, they were saying that her conservative faith helped her with her decision, because she's saying that the mom said that we just believe that God made them who he is, so that's why we helped him down this transition. What are you talking about?
That doesn't make any sense.
God made him the way he is, so that's why we transitioned him from a girl to a boy. That makes no sense.
Christians, okay? I don't understand what, like...
It's false belief.
I'm gonna head out.
Yeah.
Another one.
But, yeah, I mean, so what? You look at abortion, LGBTQ stuff, what else? What else shows the loss of faith in God? What else could you say?
Like hedonism.
What do you mean?
Like, do you know what hedonism is?
Say it.
It's like the pursuit of, isn't it like pleasure or wealth or like material goods and pleasure? I think it is. Like,
pursue whatever makes you happy.
Exactly. Hey, you know what? Good job explaining it, I think. I don't know what the textbook definition is, but like...
We'll get the definition.
Yeah, he's going to pull it up. But essentially what I think it is, and what I know it is it's like all you want is the big, nice house. You want pleasure.
It's the pursuit of pleasure, sensual self-indulgence.
Exactly. That's a lack of faith in God, because if you're pursuing self, that's like pride. That's gluttony. That's usually envy, because you're envying other people's stuff. Like, you want this, and that's what our society is based off of. Like, literally, we're a consumer society. We consume pleasure constantly. Like, you guys listening to this podcast for pleasure, Nobody is listening
to this thing for pleasure. I promise you that.
Nobody's listening to this period.
Yeah, just nobody's listening to this period besides us.
Yeah, exactly. And like, actually, I don't even listen to them.
I wouldn't even want to listen to us, honestly.
I've never listened.
I don't even think your wife's listened to us.
No,
exactly.
She likes them, but no, nobody listens to us.
Yeah,
like it's Clayton's family that does. Mom, Dad, and Colin. And Colin gave up.
Yep. But anyways, I mean, you look at everyone's just looking for the next big pay raise. Everyone's shooting for the next house. Everyone's shooting for the big cars. They've lost sight in what the true happiness is. And I mean, what would you say the true happiness is? Family,
faith, and family.
What would you say? Faith, family, and country. That's what that Myra Flores ran off of. The lady who ran that special election in was it Southern Texas. She ran. Her slogan was faith, family. No, it was God, family, country.
Yeah.
And people, liberals might not like that, but I mean, people voted for that, and I think it's time our country gets back to that.
I have a good book you guys should listen to or read. It's free on YouTube. It's called Industrial Society and Its Future. And in this book, this guy talks about how if you look at a person that has a family, has kids, once they get old, like they're more accepting of it. They're not like working out all the time. They're not like, really trying to like eat super healthy, stay fit, try staying hip with the young kids, because they've realized that what's important. They've given up, or they've worked towards like a fulfilling life. And that's not saying that they don't do that, but if you look at a lot of people who are single or don't have kids, like they're trying to, like most of the people in Congress, they're just like, they're like wicked old, and they're just still going at it. Like Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden, like
they're just grasping for any
Mitch
power
McConnell's
because they have nothing left.
Yeah, they have nothing left. Okay, like they don't have a fulfilling life. They've only been trying to pursue their own power in stuff in their life. And you know what? Listen to the book. It talks a lot about how just modern culture, I guess you could say, modern technology has almost like dwarfed us or given up hope. Like that preacher said on last Sunday, how there's the good things in life, but you know what? Sometimes Satan can take the good things in life and pervert them. So like these good things we have in our life, you know, the air conditioning and it was a good
running
thing.
water.
Running water.
We don't even think about running
nice
water.
Nice cars. Like they're good things, but don't let that consume you. Don't let the good things in life take over what's more important. And what's most important
is listening to this podcast and
yes,
sharing
people,
it with your
like,
friends.
seriously.
Oh, listen, we say this every episode, and you guys don't listen. I mean, who are we talking to? We know there's like
who
3 people.
Are you?
What is there like nine faithful people that actually listen to our podcast, and you guys don't share with anyone? It's like you guys don't even care about us.
You know what? We are more important than what you guys think you want. Like you guys should be.
You just don't understand it yet. We're trying to show it to you.
Obviously, we're joking.
No, we're not.
But we're not.
I'm not.
I'm saying we're like being serious in a joking way. But after YouTube banned us, like it's really hit us. Like we don't get even half the views anymore.
Not even. We were getting 100 views on our first 2 videos, and then just they shut us down. And nobody's going on Rumble. Nobody's going on any of these streaming apps really.
Yeah, if you take Rumble on each episodes we've listened to, and you add them to the podcast sites we've listened to, not one episode hits 100 views. Not a single one. What is our most viewed episode on Anchor?
Our first one, which I believe is 57.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure on Rumble it's like 17 or 18 views. Okay, on YouTube we were getting 100 views per episode, pretty much.
Yeah, our first one had I believe 103. And then before they kicked us off, our second one had 98.
Yeah, 98 or 99. Yeah, I was going to say. Which is still nothing. I mean, let's be honest. But, like, still. Now, our Anchor total views
is 172.
Yeah, 172. And our Rumble is, like, not even 100. It's, like, 80.
No, I don't even think that, dude. Well, we'll go through it right now. Episode 1 has 16, no likes. Episode 2, 6 views, no likes. Episode 3, 4 views, no likes.
26.
Episode 4, 10 views, no likes. Episode 5, 7 views, no likes. And nobody follows us either, really. I think we have 3 people that follow us.
So that's what, like 37 views?
Yep. Something like that.
On 172.
What do you mean?
So we have like 210 views, I think, if my math's correct, on Anchor.
Give or take.
And we were over that on YouTube. And we got deleted. We got deleted. We have 2 more episodes up. Okay? On it's just sad. And to our faithful followers.
To you too.
Thanks for listening. And we probably sound desperate, but
that's because we are.
We are. It really is, because it's like
we were doing so good and then it just got ripped from us, man.
It's I don't know. They probably don't want to hear us wallowing in our sadness, but you don't have a choice.
Smash that like button. Follow the show.
Pringle, dingle, flingle the like button.
Tingle the like button, guys. Share it with your friends. If this video gets 1 million likes, I'll give away my phone. And
I will be honest. If this episode 6, right?
Yep.
If this gets 1 million likes, I will give away $1,000.
Why not 1 million?
I'll give away $100,000. 1 million likes on Rumble.
On Rumble. Yeah, come on, like just listen to this thing.
Probably.
Already. But anyways, there's gonna be a part 2 of this episode. We're gonna kind of go a little bit about the culture ramifications of. We'll dive into why of the loss of faith in God, and we have a couple little stories of what we'll say. Well, principal having sex with a bunch of students.
No, one kid 30 times.
One kid 30 times. My bad. That's pretty bad. We'll talk about this. I don't know. This Ezra Miller thing where this guy thinks he's like a freaking god the way he talks and how he's grooming kids.
Weirdo.
So weird. And guess what? He's on that LGBTQ spectrum.
Of course.
And then we'll talk about a new abortion ad that CNN put out of what you should get your dad for Father's Day. Abortion. But anyways, we'll see you guys on next episode. Thanks for watching.